So, my name is DJ, and I've been working on an idea for about 3 weeks now. Basically what it is website security scanning for the startup community. So you can think of it like a McAfee for websites. I don't know if any of you guys run a startup or work at a startup, but essentially what you do is you'd come to my site, type in your domain name, and then we'd send out a crawler and it basically look for different holes. I'm not going to get too nerdy here for you, like SQL injection, cross-site scripting, stuff like that. We return a list of stuff we found on a recurring basis, and just kind of make it effortless to do website security scanning. A lot of startups don't have an in-house security guy, or even a developer who necessarily is tasked with security. So this kind of gets that longer tail startup community and says, okay, just hand this off to us, we'll scan it for you guys, and just kind of take that off your plate. There's a lot of enterprise solutions out there, but I haven't seen anything that's kind of effortless and easy for you just to enter in a URL and kind of leave it. So I guess I'm just throwing it out to different friends and seeing, is this interesting to you guys? Is this something you use if any of you run a startup or you run startups? And ultimately, is this something that you would pay for?
What are some of the big security issues at a startup?
So there's a few major ones, like SQL injection, which is probably the biggest one. That's, if you hear like the famous attacks in the past of people stealing a bunch of credit card numbers, some of them have been SQL injection. You could lose all your data via SQL injection or have it all stolen. Cross-site scripting, you could get your user's password stolen. There's probably 10 or so different attacks that have been fairly well publicized, and then there's a lot of little minor things that people might want to clean up. So.
I think that's something that people would use if because a lot of companies probably don't think that much about that, or think, oh, we're too small, like whatever, we'll do that when we get this big, but then they forget or something like that.
So that's my main concern. Is it too niche? Is this something that people don't think about until it actually happens to them? Any of you guys run websites or work at a startup in here?
Yes,
yeah.
What I was thinking is that are there enough outside, resources where we wouldn't have to worry about that? Like say I'm a startup, I start something and I just direct everyone to PayPal, right? Direct everyone to a different site. I don't have to worry about any safety issues. Like, is that going to be an issue?
I mean, it's not necessarily just to do with credit card data. If you had a website that just had user logins, that could easily be stolen, and then your company could be gone next week just because of all the bad press or your data loss. So it's not necessarily a deep level security stuff. It's really anything that you would not want to lose or have your users lose.
Part of it is you almost can get more sort of street cred if you just invent a certification or something. Whatever your company is called, we are such and such certified, and just stamp that on all your pages. And so, the 128-bit, SSL there, whatever, and then that. And so it's a little bit of brand building, but if you do that, then, so it's a little bit of a chicken and egg, but if you can convince enough people to do it initially, and then people say, oh, you have that certification.
Right.
We don't, maybe we should.
That's a good idea. I was thinking kind of like the VeriSign.
VeriSign, exactly.
So like today, I mean, like sometimes you go to different sites and they have all these different certifications and whatnot on it. I've never looked into like what it takes to actually get all of those certifications. But I mean, is that something that's like super complicated and that people generally can't figure out, or is that something that you would be able to help them simplify?
So kind of the footer stuff you see on people's sites, like the VeriSign stuff. There's a variety of them, like VeriSign or Trustee. It just depends if you're looking at privacy or SSL certificates. I guess the more important question is, as a consumer, does that stuff make you feel good?
Well, you may want to start with a niche, actually, like payments industry. I mean, mobile payments is hot.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about that. So if you get a dedicated following in one niche, then you can move into another one. but it seems like it's a little, again, the chicken and egg, so you wanna find someone that may have a little bit of need for it,
Mhm.
and then really just build on that and become a household name in that industry.
Right,
And they can tell you whether the consumers need it or not. They're the consumer sites. You're going straight to the website.
Mhm.
So your B2B, as long as those Bs know what their Cs want, and if their Cs want this, then you just go and take over that industry.
Something else you might want to think about is, you know, it's interesting, you know, one business model that you can think of is that you charge a consumer for, you know, you running your service of, you know, kind of checking out for security holes. But if you extend that a little bit further, I mean, once you find those security holes, they now need to patch those security holes. What if you actually charge the people that are going to be patching the security holes for basically hooking them up with people that need the security holes patched? So therefore, me as a founder of a company, I can, you know, I don't have money to be spending on security stuff right now, let's say. So the service would be free to me, but the idea is that you would then hook me up with a good set of people or a company or something like that to
Yeah.
help me patch
Yeah.
those things. And you
Almost
charge
like
them.
a niche Odesk model.
Right.
Yeah,
So you're kind of like a community, right?
yeah.
Is this a one-time where you go in and look and pull out, or is this something you monitor on a daily basis?
So I was thinking recurring. I kind of want to see what, you know, people want, but I was thinking kind of set it, forget it thing, and then we'll notify you if we find it too
It's
bad.
automated.
Yeah, it's
Is it not?
automated,
Okay.
yeah.
Because you can charge a subscription model.
Right, exactly. So that was an additional model I was
So you-
thinking.
That's what it is. You want to find an industry that's paranoid.
Yeah,
Because you really want to, you want to be like, yeah, it's crazy world out there. There's crazies out there.
yeah,
So it's like an Equifax or a TransUnion for websites, essentially. It's like you want to kind of get people to sign up for $5 a month, $10 a month, something like that, and
right.
get them to. Most of the time, nothing's actually happening, but when something does happen, you notify them ahead of time.
Yep.
I think it's a good idea.
And the Equifax idea is if, like Alexa, you come up with a score,
Mhm.
and then you know, you light a little fire, like, oh, your score is better than mine. I need to upgrade my subscription to, you know, the pro inspection,
Right,
or
right.
whatever. Yeah.
Is anyone a developer in here? No? Okay. Different audience. Was it the concept clear to you guys being non-developers? Yeah.
Who does this get handed off to? Who's your high-end competition?
Like McAfee's got a security team, Symantec, Northern.
And the price point is just.
Their
how
price
it is
point's
for us?
pretty high, yeah, no startup would use them, it would almost be preferable for them just to have an in-house guy doing it.
At what point does a startup need to start looking as soon as they post any kind of website?
I mean,
or-
ideally, I think if the price point's low enough, there's always holes that can be found. And that's kind of the question I'm answering, is this something that people just put in the back of their mind and wait till they have a problem, or would they pay a nominal fee to be like, okay, you know, we might as well make sure that there's no holes here. So yeah, I mean, the day they launch, really, they should be doing scanning stuff, but most people put it off until something actually happens.
It's kind of like dental coverage.
Yeah.
I think that as
It
I'm
is
not
like
a
insurance.
developer, but as a user, if I ever bought anything online, like for example, I went to Costco.com to renew my membership today,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't see the little like lock on my Firefox, so I was like, screw that, I'm not even gonna, like, that makes me not wanna participate. So like that could be, I don't know, like on the programming end of things, like how, if I saw things, if that was locked and I saw all these different like logos to tell me like, you're safe, we got 5 stars out of, 5, then I would, and so for sites that maybe do like e-commerce, I feel like if I had a site that had e-commerce, I was selling things, I definitely wanted to have that kind of protection, for sure.
Okay.
But if it was just like a site where I'm like displaying events or, just not stuff that's like such a huge like security threat,
Right.
I probably wouldn't think of getting security for
Yeah,
it.
that's a good
But
point.
once people start putting in passwords and like
Mhm.
credit cards, anything that can, or just email addresses even, like, because I don't like getting spam emails, so that makes people just like, okay, no, never mind.
Right.
So that could be, I don't know how to like make that, happen with browsers to get that security, you know,
That's a good point,
Agreement?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool, thanks, guys.
yeah.
Thank you.